Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Just back with a quick deck video. Today I threw together a Boba Fett and Jango Fett deck. I don't think this is going to be a super competitive deck, but I think it will be fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the deck here. We're running a single Jango, so running him at 12 points, 10 health, 1 range damage, 2 range damage, 1 melee damage, resource, plus 1 resource blank, and after an opponent activates a character, you may activate this character. Next up, we have Boba Fett at Elite. We're running him at 16 points for 11 health, 2 range damage, 2 melee damage, Disrupt, Special Blank, and Special deal damage to a character equal to the value showing on a die, either yours or your opponent's. And since we're running Boba at 16, we're running Jango at 12. We have 28 points, so we have 2 points left over. So we're taking the Taking Ground plot for 2 points. Add 2 to the value of your roll for the battlefield during setup. So we're going to be short 1 character die since one of them is not elite, since Jango is not elite. This will essentially make up for anything that he could roll for the battlefield. So hopefully it'll get us our battlefield, and we are running for our battlefield the Outer Rim Outpost on now Hutta. Gain 1 resource and draw a card if you claim it. I suppose I could also swap these out, so I can do Elite Jango and single Boba as well. And then the deck would still pretty much be the same. So we're going to go through our upgrades here. We're running 2 Deadly, 2 cost. As an action, you can exhaust this upgrade and remove one of the attached character's dice to deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. Running 2 Fast Hands. This is only really in here for Boba, so if we end up getting both, we can use one of them for a reroll or something. Yellow character only. After you activate the attached character, you may resolve one of its character or upgrade dice. 2 Holdout Blasters, 2 cost. 1 range damage, 2 range damage for a resource, plus 2 range damage, shield, resource, blank, as ambush and redeploy. Running 2 LL30 blaster pistols, 2 cost, 1 range damage, 1 range damage, plus 2 range damage, shield, special, and blank, also has ambush and redeploy. And special, turn another one of your dice to a side showing range damage. We have 2 Relby V10 mortar guns, 3 cost, 2 range damage, plus 3 range damage, 2 disrupt, resource blank. As an action, you can spend 2 resources and remove this die showing range damage to deal that damage to each of an opponent's characters. So if you have it on the +3, you can pay 2 resources, remove it, and hit all of your opponent's characters for 3 damage. We're also running 2 wrist rockets, 3 cost, 2 range damage, 4 indirect damage for a resource, discard, resource, special, and blank. Yellow character only. Special, deal 1 damage to a character. You may then spend 1 resource to deal 2 damage to a character. So the special is going to always hit for 1, and then if you spend the resource, it's going to hit for 2 more. And finally, we have 2 X8 Night Snipers. 2 cost, 1 range damage, 3 range damage for a resource, plus 2 range damage. 2 range damage. Disrupt, resource, blank, has ambush, and as an action, you can spend 1 resource to turn this die to any side. To our supports, we have just 2 salvage stands. After one of your dice rolls a resource, you may exhaust this support to force an opponent to lose 1 resource. So a lot of resources in this deck. Both the characters have resources on their dice, as well as a bunch of the upgrades. So we'll be able to use salvage stand to get rid of some of our opponent's resources. Into our events, we have 2 bait and switch. Has ambush. Turn 1 of your dice showing a resource to any side. So again, like salvage stand, we have a lot of dice with resources, so we'll be able to flip that one of those dice to a side and then resolve it with ambush. We have 2 doubt, 0 cost. Reroll an opponent's die, then that opponent either resolves that die or removes it. We have 2 Electroshock, 1 cost. Spot a yellow character to remove a die showing a value of 2 or lower. We have 2 Fight Dirty. Remove any number of your yellow dice, then deal damage to a character equal to the number of dice you just removed. So everything in this deck is yellow with the exception of the Holdout Blaster. So this could go off and do a ton of damage. I've used this in a deck with Aura Sing and Politic, and I think I removed 5 dice in one game and did 5 damage. Next up, very similar to Fight Dirty, is Free For All. So 1 cost. Remove any number of your dice, then deal indirect damage to an opponent equal to the value or equal to the number of the dice you just removed. So if you remove 4 dice, you deal 4 indirect damage. We have 2 He Doesn't Like You, 0 cost. Remove one of your dice to remove an opponent's die. And finally, we have 2 Take Flight. 0 cost, it has ambush. Reroll up to 2 of your yellow dice. So you reroll those 2 dice, you then can resolve them. So this could be, I think, a fun deck, a thematic deck. You could also make it Elite Jango and single Boba Fett, because they do have the same cost. So 1216 on Boba, 1216 on Jango. So you can make Jango Elite and make a normal Boba, or run it like this. Either way. I think it's going to be a fun deck. Looking forward to building it once I get my legacy starter sets. And the only cards I really need out of it will be, well, the Wrist Rockets are a starter, but I'll probably need 2 of those. And then Free For All, I believe, is the only card from Legacies that isn't in the starters, I believe. Let me see. So, oh, and Take Flight. So Take Flight and Free For All, I believe, are the only 2 that I don't already have, with the exception of the Wrist Rockets, which I can get in the starter once that becomes available. So that's the deck. Let me know what you think of the deck below. I'm going to add the deck list to the description so you can check it out. Also, remember the giveaway for the Ultimate Guard deck box and 3 packs of Star Wars Destiny is still going on. That's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Take care.